for 33 hours. I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for.
Lock in, fuck niggas. What the hell did I just hear? Did the governor of Utah, who has one of the most lax gun laws in the state, is surprised as one of his residents that committed the assassination? It's been confirmed that Tyler Robinson, a white man from Utah, was the one that assassinated Charlie Kirk. Not a black person, not a Muslim person, not a trans person, but a white man from Utah. Now, based on his voter registration, it shows that he has no affiliation to any parties. Now, there isn't any direct evidence to show the individual's ideology, although there is a photograph of the individual in a Donald Trump costume. There are numerous photos of the suspect handling firearms, which clearly shows that Utah gun laws failed Charlie Kirk. And I still don't understand how the Utah's governor is still surprised that it was a white man from Utah that did this. If we just look at all the attempted assassinations and assassinations that happened this year, all of it was from white men. State lawmaker Melissa Hortman, suspect is a white man. The 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump were white men. But you guys won't acknowledge that. And the reason is because Charlie Kirk bred the idea that white Christian people are the perfect being and anyone outside of that are criminals or problems. And any white individual part of any minority group is a corrupted individual. I would say pray for Charlie Kirk's family, but my prayers are wrapped up into the HBCUs that got those threats, Gaza, Sudan, and Congo.
If this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody...
You wanted him to be an immigrant. That's what you wanted. You either wanted him to be a or a Mexican immigrant. Y'all was banking on it. Y'all was like, yes, if he could have just been a Mexican, if he could have just been black, we could have get this race war on and popping. Yeah. No race war for you. It was a 22-year-old white kid whose daddy was a Republican pastor and the whole family were Trump supporters.
Bro, I don't mean to laugh, but racism is funny sometimes, man. All I could do was laugh. That Utah governor got up there and said, dang it, he wasn't... He said, oh my gosh, I can't even say it. He said, dang it, he wasn't a Democrat. He said, bro, and I cannot make this up. He said, I was praying it wasn't one of us. Then Cash Patel sitting behind him, bro. This dude says, I was hoping that it was somebody from overseas. Please, somebody, I'm begging you, screenshot Cash Patel's face in the moment he said that and post it in the comments, please. Oh my God. Y'all gotta watch the video, bro. Y'all have to watch the video, bro. Bro, this is unbelievable. That man legit was up there like, see, I told you it was the... What? It wasn't the Democrats? It was the LG... Huh? It wasn't them? Then who was it? No way. Guys, it wasn't them.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Sometimes when people try to run from the truth, they end up exposing themselves even more. Watch how this man tries to dodge white guilty and instantly regrets what he says about black people. Guys, let's watch the clip. Remember, the credit goes to the direct owner of the video. I'll be back.
Man, y'all cap ass niggas talking about it's one of us. I ain't seen a picture yet.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But like one of them, right? Like definitely a leftist, like looks like us, but doesn't think like us, right? Oh, okay. Well, at least he's not a Utah citizen. He's one of those crazy people from the other stage, right? That's twin in him? Now, if I'm being honest, like my nephew could be his brother. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know if I could spin this, even if I was a Beyblade. I could have sworn it was them monkeys from Detroit. And you mean to tell me it's a motherfucker that looked like my first cousin? What are we? How am I gonna excuse the God, now I gotta call off the raid. Look, I'll explain later. Don't ask any fucking questions. Just call off the raid, dude. I figured, dude, just call off it. Look, take the fucking mask off. Make sure you bleach them, store them somewhere safe for next time. Call off the fucking raid. I'll explain later. Can't have any fucking fun these days, dude. God.
Mr. God, sir. Yes, what is it? We have a new prayer that just came in. It's from the governor of Utah.
Yes.
How long is this? 33 hours, sir. 30 hours? He's asking for what? Leave this unread. File it with all the Cowboys fans' prayers who keep asking for their team to do something in the playoffs.
This motherfucker said he was praying for 33 hours. Okay? He was praying for 33 hours that the person who unalived Charlie Kirk was not one of us, meaning one of them, one of the Republicans, one of the white American Christians, one of the MAGA folks, one of the Trump supporters. He wasn't praying that Charlie Kirk's soul, Lord, forgive him for his sins. He wasn't praying for that man's family. He wasn't praying for America to release. God releases from this hatred and this racism in this country. He wasn't praying for gun violence to be ceased in America. He said he was praying for 33 hours that it wasn't one of...
Hey guys, this is a classic move, deflection. Instead of admitting the truth about racism or privilege, he tries to push the focus into black people. But here is the problem. When you dodge accountability, your words unusually come back to hit you harder. Guys, as you see yourself, this thing just was not including black people. And then the blame coming to them. Sometimes we have to accept. So when we escape or when we don't want to do our responsibilities, we try to take that blame to others. So guys, let's continue to watch the clip. I'll be back.
No, but for real, I need Christians to explain to me what the governor of Utah meant when he said, I was praying to God that it was not one of us. Look, I grew up in a Pentecostal church. My grandfather was a bishop. My brother's a preacher. My other grandfather's a preacher. I got cousins, preachers. I've heard a lot of sermons in my life. I've heard a lot of prayers. I was in church every day from 0 to 21. I love my church family. I don't go to church anymore, but I love my church family. I love my people. Pentecostal Church of God in Christ. I've never heard a person say what that governor of Utah said. I prayed to God that it was not one of us. I prayed that it was someone from a different state who had driven into our state or someone from a different country. What? So this is for Christians. People who call themselves Christian. What did that man mean by that? Was he hoping that it was a non-white person? Because that's how I heard it. I heard it as being a non-white person first, and then a non-American second, presumably someone from a different country, which is odd coming from Mormon territory, because Mormons go into other countries, but South American and Central American countries that are Latino people and work to convert them to Mormonism. What did he mean by that? That was such an odd statement. And look, I don't know that governor, and I saw he was emotional up there. And it seems like he was most emotional because it was a white guy that killed that other guy. So somebody help me understand that. Some Christians out there, help me understand that.
Somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered.
For him to say he really prayed that it wasn't one of them says so much, right? Like he really thought it was going to be a Democrat. Or better yet, he wanted to be a person of color. He wanted to be an immigrant. He wanted to be someone who was trans. Whatever, he wanted to be nothing but what it was, a white Republican who was heavy in MAGA. No, couldn't be. Man, it's crazy how now you want to switch up your tune and you want peace. When we should have had peace in the first place, we should have been talking about unity. But no, it wasn't an individual, it was a group of people. I mean, everybody, those liberals, I mean, all the past 2 days have been nothing but people basically making lists of Black and brown creators that they wanted to and more. I mean, I seen a woman literally almost bust a blood vessel screaming about how dare Democrats do this. And look what we have here. It's so quick for them to go ahead and accuse anybody but themselves when it's showing that the violent party is not the Democrats. It's not. But yeah, and let's not forget this dude right here. If he don't look just crazy, I don't know what crazy is. But anyway, y'all have a good day.
Okay, guys, notice how quick he is to bring up stereotypes. What shows he didn't really want an honest discussion. He just wanted to shift the blame always at one people, hoping no one would notice. But the internet always notices. Guys, as you know, the things about responsibility are the heavy things. When some incidents happen, sometimes instead of taking it serious and think what to do, we're starting to find who can defend us, or how can we overcoming that challenge to not be involved in. So, as you see yourself, guys, this is not about Black people. So let's continue to watch the clip. I will be back.
So now that we know what we know, now that we know for sure what we know, this, and including this.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us, that somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for.
What does any of it have to do with HBCUs? I need someone to answer that. I need someone from their side of the aisle to come and tell me, what does any of that have to do with HBCUs? This was the outcome of a MAGA on MAGA crime. This was the outcome of a feud between the Charlie Kirk camp and the Nick Fuentes camp. And I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you, it happened in Utah. Ain't no HBCUs in Utah. Ain't no HBCUs nowhere near Utah. So I'm going to say it out loud, since probably come tomorrow or some point next week, I'm going to lose this account because they're going to go through all of our videos and search for political things and then ban us. So I'm fully mentally prepared to lose this account. So I might as well go out with a scream and a yell, even though I can't, but you know what I mean. Need someone from MAGA to come and explain to me, like a grown-up, explain it to me like I'm 5, what any of this ever or does or did have to do with HBCUs or Black people at all. Let me know.
The governor of Utah wanted Charlie Kirk's shooter to be anything but white. He got up there and was like, and I was praying that if this had to happen here, it wouldn't be one of us. It'd be someone from out of state or out of the country. Huh? What do you mean by that? It seems like you wished and hoped and prayed that it was an immigrant so that you guys could continue your agenda. Or maybe a Black person so that you guys could just continue the racism. And if not that, and like,
Listen.
You guys knew it was a white person, you were at least hoping that that person wasn't aligned anywhere near being a Republican. But I do really think it's about racism when it comes down to it. Because what do you mean a different country? Like the different state, okay, but like, oh, I was praying that the person would have come from a different country. Why? So you can continue an agenda of racism against whatever minority it would have been from a different country that did whatever it was. You could put the blame on someone else from a different country and then use that rhetoric to create more racism, or at least have more racist conversations and tie things to minorities in order to basically demonize them, as that's been done for hundreds of years. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it really seems like. He got up there, was kind of upset that it wasn't an immigrant. It wasn't a black person. It wasn't a minority. It wasn't a Democrat. Like, that's what it looks like to me.
And this is why deflection never works. And the more you try to escape responsibility, the more obvious your guilty becomes. He thought he was being clever, but he only embarrassed himself. Guys, you see, just most of the time when we want to escape our own responsibilities, the more problem we had. Because responsibility is what we have to give service to other people. It's how we have just to do what we accept to do in our position. So guys, let's continue to watch the clip. I'll be back with more commentary.
White people are never, ever, ever going to give up white supremacy willingly. And that's because of the consequences that it would cause if they gave it up. And I'm not talking about mean words related to race. I'm not talking about hurt feelings. I'm talking about systemic white supremacy. White supremacy is all about control of resources. And these resources could be labor, they could be territory, they could be the resources on that territory, like oil or cobalt. It's also about power, legislative power, economic power, cultural power, or influence. And all these different facets of white supremacy have worked together for hundreds of years to put white people in the place they are now. White people are 14 or 15% of the world population. They control 60% of the wealth. In the United States, white people are 60% of the population and control 84.5% of the wealth. Even if you cut out the top 1%, the median household income for white families is $205,000 a year. For black people, it's $44,000 a year. Black people in the United States are about 16% of the population. In 1865, they held 0.5% of the wealth. In 2023, they held 4.2% of the wealth. Africa is 17% of the world's population, but holds less than 2% of global wealth. And I'm bringing up Africa because white supremacy is a global system. And to end global white supremacy, it's necessary to remove the control that white people have over territory that they've taken through white supremacy.
So the governor of Utah saying that he prayed for 33 hours, that he wished that it was not one of them. He sat there and said that he prayed for 33 hours that the gunman, the alleged gunman, was not one of theirs. He wanted them to be an immigrant so bad, a person of color so bad that he prayed for 33 hours that it was not one of them. I know we all heard what we heard. And come to find out, it was one of him. Clock it. I would do my little finger clip, but I got popsicle in my hand. Clock that. Sir, yeah, it was one of yours. What did you think? Who did you think? Who could you possibly have thought it was? You think black people, brown people, is going to sit up there with a high-power rifle on somebody's rooftop? First of all, we burn in the sun as well. We burn in the sun as well. Okay? Why would we sit on somebody's rooftop to unalive somebody? because they have a difference of opinion. If you have a difference of opinion, you have a difference of opinion. We've never stopped people from having a difference of opinion. The only thing that we want is equal rights. That's it. Equal rights. Fair treatment. Accountability for the things that has taken place. But nah, you say, oh, I prayed for 33 hours that the gunman, the alleged gunman, was not one of ours. My God, today, if they not telling us who they are and we not believing them at this point, there is something wrong with us. Believe what people tell you the first time.
I just finished watching a press conference by the governor of Utah. And if you haven't seen it, then you definitely need to go back and watch it. I can't believe the words that came out of this man's mouth. I can, but I can't.
Yes,
he actually said that he prayed that it was not one of them, that he hoped that it was somebody from another country or from another state. He actually said that. That came out of his mouth because he's saying that it would have made it a lot easier because the type of things that happened to Charlie, those things don't happen in Utah, is what he's saying. But I also noticed too that they keep saying that this is political violence. But as far as I know, and from what I've heard about the guy who took out Charlie Kirk, he was actually a number 47 supporter. He was not from the left. He was actually from the right. He was actually one of them. So I don't understand why they keep trying to make this political. Now, as far as I heard, the guy that did this to Charlie, he didn't like him, is all that I heard them say. It had nothing to do with politics. I did not hear him mention politics, but he did not like Charlie.
Okay, guys, let's break this down. When we talk about white guilty, we are not talking about making every white person feel personally responsible for history. Yeah, we know some white people, they are very nice, they are so good, they don't care about racism. Guys, as you know, this is all about our community, guys. We should be together, we should make unity, we should care about one another. What we are really talking about is the responsibility to acknowledge what happened and how it still shapes the present. Now, when someone tries to deflect, they usually say things like, well, black people do this, or other groups have problems too. That's not an argument. It's a distraction. It's like getting caught cheating on a test and saying, but other students cheat too. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how we are blaming others. Instead of admit what we do or what we did to fix the things. So we bring the blame to others. We bring the problem to others. That's how do we call to escape responsibilities. That doesn't make you innocent, guys. That doesn't make you perfect. Deflection is dangerous because it avoids the real conversations. Instead of asking, how do we fix inequality? The focus shifts to blaming the very people who have suffered from it. That's why it backfires. The moment this man tried to bring up black people in a negative way, it showed everyone he had no real defense. Here is the truth. Taking accountability doesn't make you weak. It makes you stronger. That's true, guys. When people admit the role their group played in history, when they acknowledge